Happy holidays, beautiful. I hope that I can be the lucky guy to take you out on that lovely date.
Was that a question? Did he say his name and where he from? Okay, you don't follow directions. That's already red flag. And then here y'all go, that could be your husband. It ain't. God would have given me a signal. And all the signals point the other way.
If you had to choose between two guys, one was like your best friend, and another one was someone that's new, very financially stable. Best friend, he ain't not really trying to do much. He ain't really got any ambitions or anything. But he has a decent job.
Girl, number one, the way you said it, best friend, he ain't really got no ambitions or anything. I mean, he got a decent job. You don't want to be with him? Somebody asked, what is the fruit of the spirit that you're working on? I have self-control in certain areas of my life, but others I do not. It's like total ends of the spectrum. You go from 10 days water to gluttony. Somebody asked that actually in one of the questions, like, how do you not give up? Like, this is one of the moments where I wanted to give up. Like, hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Let's Try This Again podcast. I am your host, b.simone. Thank you for being here. If you are an OG, you've been here, you've been tapped in, welcome back. If you're new to this, but true to this, new to this, not true to this. How does that slogan or saying go? I'm new to this, I'm true to this, not new to this. But you might be new to this, but not true to this. But you're going to be true to this because you're going to be an OG eventually. Thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome back. I love you guys. I'm so excited to be here. That was my sister just getting her dog a snack. Just in the kitchen, just fiddly diddly, diddly doodly. What do you need? It's all right. Just don't shake your head at me. Just get it. Oh, crankle. Oh, you couldn't hold the thing? Oh, now she turning on water. Jordan, are you serious?
No, like, really, you just need some water, and I'm out. Okay, come on, baby.
And you had to cross the cameras again?
Uh-huh.
I'm not editing this out either.
It's fine.
It's fine. Go, Bean. Follow your mom. Now he just sitting here. She always like, come on, baby. He do not be listening to her. She be like, Bean, no. He be like, come on, baby. He just staring at her. Anyway, my sister is here. She has a Shih Tzu, and she's in my room playing in my stuff. Hey, y'all. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. This episode is going to be light, fun. We might get a little deep. We pulled some of your questions from Q&A. I put my phone number in the group chat on the Let's Try This Again Instagram page, you guys. If you guys are not in the broadcast channel and in that group chat, you're missing merch drops. We dropped merch last week, all sold out. You're missing just everything. All the BTS stuff, all the exclusive stuff, all the secret app stuff that we're working on. You need to get in that group chat. We're building community in that group chat, which will eventually move to the app that I'm super excited about. You guys, this app process has been crazy. Starting an app has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my career. And honestly, there have been moments where I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Okay, this episode is Q&A and I'm going to get into it, but I have to talk to you guys a little bit about this because somebody asked that actually in one of the questions, like, how do you not give up? Like, this is one of the moments where I wanted to give up. Like, and maybe it wasn't fully give up, but it's doubt. Like, okay, what if nobody subscribes to the app? What if I do all of this work, all of this money, building all these functions, putting all this energy into it? You guys, I've been working on this app since January, almost a year. And it's just very difficult and time consuming. And you have to put a lot of money and energy into building an app from the ground up. And there have been moments where I do have doubt, and that doubt has crept in the past and been like, yo, like, you're doing all this for 50 subscribers. You're doing all this for 100 subscribers. You're doing all this. And oh my God, there's another influencer comedian that I know that started an app, and he's like, you know, it just doesn't make profit. And he's ended up going back to Patreon. He doesn't do his app anymore. And there's like, just, I don't know. It just, fear can creep up, but when you know what God showed you and what God has called you to do and the impact that it can make, you just have to steadfast and keep going and not let doubt and fear consume your mind. And this is one of those situations where I'm like, This app can literally change the world. It will change the world. It will be a platform where I'm finally putting all of myself into building something that will have longevity and not using my gifts and talents to build and take off and skyrocket other platforms. I've done that so many times in my career and I have been left with crumbs, and I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, the LTTA app is going to be powerful. And it's like, you see the vision, but you don't always see how you're going to get there, and you don't see the end of it. I can only imagine. I can't even fathom where God is going to take it, but I know it's going to be big. I know it's going to be impactful, and I know it's going to exceed my expectations. It's just been so hard and so difficult, and we keep going back to the drawing board. We hired the wrong people at first, then we got new people. Now we got the new people, and they're going to charge us this amount to fix what the old people did and didn't do. And it's like, man, it's just, there's no shortcuts around this. And that's one of the main things I said I want to go into New Year's with. One of the main things I'm working on now, my goals and the things I'm trying to accomplish. I couldn't think of the word. Yesterday I just sat there. I said, it's going to come. It's going to come. The things I'm trying to accomplish, I want to have longevity. I want it to be long lasting. I've done so many things, y'all. So many things. And as a serial entrepreneur, it's hard not to hop from thing to thing to thing, or this to this to this. It's like, I've done so many things, but this next thing, which I'm living in my next thing, which is LTTA, which is this platform. And I don't even want to call it a podcast anymore, because it's bigger than a podcast. It's a brand. It's a movement. It's a community. It is a show. It is all things under this umbrella of LTTA. It's an umbrella of different things. And we're not going to limit it to a podcast. We're working on a freaking app, for God's sake, right? I'm working on so many things, which is LTTA, this platform, which is leading to the LTTA app, which I know I am building a foundation, which is taking longer. And there's more obstacles, and there's more difficulties and setbacks than building something I have built in the past, which took less time and which happened much quicker. And, this happened in a week. This happened in a month. This happened in less than a year. This process has seemed like so long and drawn out, but it's pruning me. It's purging me. It's squeezing out all the people, places, and things that I don't need to be connected to take with me in this next season. So this platform can have longevity and last for the next 2, 3, 4 decades and on. When I'm dead and gone and in the grave, this platform can still be, I can pass the torch to somebody, and it can still be going on and planting seeds and changing the world and changing people's lives from a vision that God gave me, a year ago. So yeah, I want what I'm building now in my career and in the place I'm at in my life now to have longevity, not just be a moment, not just be a trend, not just be, another thing I accomplished in my career. Yeah, cool. Those things are cool. Those are all accomplishments. My book, the close friends, the b.simone Beauty, all these things. But even b.simone Beauty, I'm bringing it back next year. But b.simone Beauty did not have longevity. I have to build that longevity now from here on. But I've taken a break from b.simone Beauty for 2 years. The book thing, that went viral for a whole negative cancellation impact, and me plagiarizing and all the things that I've had to explain for so many years. How it was an accident, how it wasn't my fault, how it was somebody, all the things. But that didn't have longevity. I made $1 million in the month when I sold my book in 30 days, but it didn't have longevity. Just so many things that I've built that I'm like, dang, this keeps happening, then I fall. This keeps happening, then I fall. This keeps happening, then I fall. You're gonna fall, but the slower you build the foundation, the quicker you have success. And I hope that makes sense. Like, getting to success is not fast and then you reach it. The quickest way to success is slow and steady and building a solid foundation that does not crumble at the first sight of a problem or the first sight of a trial, because they're going to come. Trials are going to come. Problems are going to come. But the way you maneuver through them and the way how strong the foundation is determines if the whole building or the whole brand or the whole thing you built crumbles or not. And I know that is what I am doing now in this season, building the foundation for the LTTA platform to stand on, where I have longevity for years and years and years and decades and decades and decades to come. Like, I call myself Billionaire B. You guys know that. Like, this is going to be only a piece of what gets me to that billionaire status. B.Simone Beauty is coming back, baby, by the way. This is the packaging I've been working on for the past 2 years for B.Simone Beauty, you guys. If you've been following me, you know B.Simone Beauty was my very first like entrepreneur business. It was the first, outside of the t-shirts. I used to sell like little t-shirts here and there, like do little merch drops. I would sell like $20 t-shirts, sell maybe like 30 t-shirts, 40 t-shirts here. But B.Simone Beauty was like the first LLC, B.Simone Beauty LLC, and the brand and like the company that I built from the ground up. And these were our first boxes. If you're listening to the audio, I'm showing the boxes on YouTube. Oh my God. I literally haven't even found packaging that I love more than this. I don't even know if I want to go back to this packaging or solely cut it out. But I think at the time, this packaging had like trauma attached to it, just because of who was in my circle at that time. And it was a very hurtful situation that I was going through at that time. So I was like, I want to change the packaging. I want to rebrand. I want to do this. I want to do that. But like, I love this packaging, you guys. It's absolutely beautiful. On the back, it said faith over fear with the hearts. And you know, if you're an OG, you got B.Simone Beauty probably on your lips right now. But I'm showing you guys all of this because it seems like in the past, me making decisions wasn't as difficult as it is for me to make decisions now. And it drives me nuts because I'm like, in the past, things happened so quickly. Yes, I did the groundwork. Yes, I came from the ground up. No, I was not an overnight success. This has been years. But to me, quickly, it's like, okay, we have an idea. We executed it. 3 months, you got a beauty brand. But in real life, that's not how it works. It takes years of planning. If it takes me years to get to 10 million and constantly rapidly grow that 10 million and improve and invest, I'd rather wait 10 years to get 10 million than get 10 million in 10 days and lose it all because I did not build a solid foundation and I don't know how to keep it. And I got the money with the wrong people and now I'm in depression and I don't want to keep my like all of those things have happened. And I feel like I'm in the season now that God is showing me like slow and steady wins the race. And you're just going to have to grind it out slowly. And everything isn't going to come so quickly. And I'm a born hustler. I'm a born entrepreneur. I'm a born visionary. None of that is going away. But sometimes it gets frustrating. Like, look at these bags of samples, you guys. We had new boxes. Do I love it? No. Do I like it? Yeah, like compared to the other boxes, the simplicity in the boxes and just the simplicity in the design was just so bold and beautiful and different to me. The holographic boxes, and you see this box, it's like, it's a lot going on. It's messy. It's cluttered. It's all the things. And I don't have to go through all these box samples, but I'm showing you these bags because it shows, y'all, it takes time. I have been working on, we literally flew to China this year in February to get all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I got 30 designs, different boxes, different logos, different patterns, the UV, the clear, the holographic, this, and I got all these boxes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like any of them. Back to the drawing board. It can feel discouraging. It can feel like a setback and it can feel like you're not progressing forward, but taking your time and building a solid foundation does not mean failure, and it does not mean you are not going to reach success. It means you're building the foundation to sustain the success when you get it. So I don't know how I got into that because we're actually doing Q&A on this episode, but I just wanted to share that. That is one thing that I have struggled with when it comes to giving up and when it comes to being patient. And I don't know if we recorded this question, but somebody asked, what is the fruit of the spirit that you're working on? And the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control. Those are 6. How many fruits of the spirit are there? Where's my phone? I think I'm missing one. Let me ask ChatGPT. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Okay. Breaking it down. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So I was missing 3. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So somebody asked, out of the fruit of the Spirit, what do you think you are missing and what do you think you have? I feel like I have love, I have joy, I have peace, I have kindness, I have goodness, moral integrity, and doing what is right. Okay, let me break this down. Okay, let's go back. Fruit of the Spirit: love, selfless, unconditional care for others. I feel like I have love. I might have to work on the unconditional part. I can't say with every single, love is. That's a good question, Braylon. Is your love conditional? Do you love people based on conditions? Wow. I'm sitting here thinking in real time. Selfish, unconditional care for others. You know what's crazy? I think this can change per season, and when the love gets unconditional, this is something that you have to ask for from God. But I will say, I have moments where it's conditional, but for the most part, I can say it is unconditional from afar, because something I've been working on, literally, I was thinking about somebody that hurt me recently. And God literally dropped this in my spirit. He said, every time you think about them, you get angry, you get mad, you get upset, you get hurt. Every time you think about them, pray for them. Do you know how hard that was? Do you know how hard that is? To pray for somebody, to say good things and pray for their family and pray for them and their businesses and their life and their financial freedom and their peace and their joy and their happiness. And you don't like them and you barely mean it. The more I did that, every time I think about this person, I pray for them. The more I do it, the more I mean it. The more you do it, the more you mean it. It is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And this has been the quickest route to forgiveness for me. The quickest route. It is the hardest thing to do, to pray for somebody that you don't like or you feel like you might have stopped loving. So for me, let's go back to the question. Is it unconditional? I do believe that I work through the fleshly feelings of pain, of anger, of unforgiveness, of sadness, of bitterness to get to the point where my love can get back to being unconditional, meaning I can want what's best for you. I can love you. I can be kind to you. I can pray for you, but it can be distance. I don't have to be a part of your life to love you. So I do believe my love is unconditional, not every day, not all the time, but that is something that I work on. So with that being the first fruit of the Spirit, Braylon, do you have love? Yes, I believe I have that. Second fruit of the Spirit, joy, deep-rooted happiness and contentment regardless of circumstances. Ooh! Everyday joy. Deep-rooted happiness and contentment. This is crazy. I wasn't even going to go here on this episode, but this is nuts. Do you have joy, deep-rooted happiness, and contentment regardless of circumstances? You know what is so crazy? The first name that popped up in my mind was Jackie. Jackie was the definition of joy. And that is something I commended her on. If you guys do not know, if you're new here, Jackie was one of my best friends that passed away. And her character and personality was consistent every single day. She was the most consistent person with personality and joy She is literally the definition of joy. Deep-rooted happiness and contentment regardless of the circumstance. It didn't matter the circumstance. She could literally be like, hey, B, I just got into a car accident. I'm going to call you right back, girl. I'm like, what? Like, are you okay? Like, hey, girl, somebody just keyed my car. I just walked out of Target. This is so crazy. Like, give me a second. I'm going to FaceTime you in a minute. She was the definition of joy. So do I always have joy? No, I don't always have joy. But I do feel like joy is my go-to trait. I usually choose joy over the opposite, over sadness and anger and victim mindset. I feel like I have love more than I have joy. Wow. Every day. If we're going to talk about every day. Overall, do I have love and joy 90% of the time? Yes. Peace, inner calm and harmony with others. Wow. With others? I just thought it was going to stop at inner calm and harmony in general. But with others, I think I have peace. I have peace. Patience, the ability to endure difficult circumstances with grace. No. Nope. I'm not going to talk myself into this one. My patience be thin. My patience be thin. That is one of the fruits of the spirit that I got to work on. Kindness, compassion, and generosity towards others. Yes. Yes, I'm very compassionate and generous. Goodness, moral integrity, and doing what is right. Absolutely. Goodness. So I'm working on, well, let's go to the other ones. Faithfulness, loyalty, and reliability in relationship and with God. Ooh, that's up and down sometime. It's up and down sometime. It's like you know, but you don't feel it. Sometimes you know, like you just don't feel it, but the knowing, like you know God is the greatest. You know all these things, but when you don't feel and act upon it and truly have that faith and that belief, your faithfulness and your faith is shaky. It's like, do you really believe or not? Gentleness, humility, and calmness in dealing with others. I think I can work on that, especially with certain people. Self-control, mastery over desires and impulses. I need to work on that. Absolutely not. I have self-control in certain areas of my life, but others I do not. I was just talking to this with my videographer. One of my biggest issues with self-control is gluttony and overeating. I have been dealing with that for years. My diet. Self-control when it comes to food. Have I fasted numerous times? I've done so many fasts. I did so many fasts last year, spiritual fast. I didn't eat for days, 10 days, water only, not juice, not a piece of candy, not a piece of gum, none of that, water only. But in other aspects of my life, it's like total ends of the spectrum. You go from 10 days water to gluttony. Like, is there no in between? Can you, like, how you go from 10 days water to eating until your stomach hurts? It's like, what is the in between? So what I feel like I have love. I feel like I have peace. I feel like I have kindness, goodness. I think I said, yeah. So 4 out of the 9, I feel like I can work on my joy regardless of the circumstance. I'm optimistic, but I don't know if there's a joy, like a deep-rooted happiness and contentment. I'm always optimistic, but I don't know if I'm always joyful. So I'm going to work on joy, patience, faithfulness. For the most part, I have faithfulness because I'm always optimistic and I truly believe, but sometimes it's shaky. Gentleness and self-control. Wow. Okay. So yeah, comment below, you guys. What fruits of the spirit are your strong traits, and what fruits of the spirit are weak that you need to work on? That was really, really good. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect to go there. So yeah, we're going to move on to the Q&A, the questions you guys had. I have a few questions and we're going to get into those right now.
Hey, b.simone. My name is Malachi Dior. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Girl, I just wanted to ask you, how do you make, I don't even know, girl, never mind.
What? What did she? I'm like, okay, it's a little ruffling. It's kids in the back, the door creaking, you're muffling over there. And then she said, I just want to ask you. Okay, never mind. You got stressed? Come on now. Is there a question? Lord of mercy.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one.
I thought this was your number, girl. You can't go right better me. But anyway, tell me why my dog went after another dog and got her pregnant and found out that the other dog was cheating on my dog with another dog, and my dog killed the other dog. Like, what the fuck?
What? Okay. First of all, okay, your dog don't play. Your dog killed the other dog. Is your dog pregnant? Your dog got pregnant and the other dog that got your dog pregnant was cheating. Your dog killed the other dog. Sound normal to me. It sounds normal to me. Yeah. Stop cheating on the dog. Oh my God. What? Okay. Does anybody have a question that goes with the vibe of the podcast? It could be funny. It could be about my life. You could ask me for my input. I'm not going to say my advice, but you could ask me for my input. What the hell was he talking? Did he say his name? You didn't even say your name. Where you from? You talking about your dog getting pregnant and killing another dog because the dog got cheated on. Sir. And you sound like you got a sinus infection. You need to go blow your nose. Next question. Do we have any questions?
Hello, B.simone. This is Michael Bell, coming from Chicago, Illinois. And also, my life is actually going pretty good, thank you. And my life is going pretty good. And I watched you on Wild 'N Out before. You were very funny.
Okay.
You're very funny. You and Pretty V are very funny.
Thank you.
And also, mostly my life has been absolutely a blessing to me. Blessed by having everything I ever wanted. That's all I want to tell y'all. Bye.
She said, my life is going very good. Thank you. Like, thank you for asking. I'm good. Y'all remember the episode I did? You're lit. She's lit, baby. That is the vibe we all need to be on. She said, hey, B.simone, I got everything in my life that I've ever asked for. I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you. That's all I wanted to tell y'all, that I'm happy. I know that's right. See, that's that joy. That's that fruit of the spirit. That she said, my life is very, very blessed. Thank you. My life is going very well. Thank you for asking. Thanks, babe. Okay, well, God bless you. Once again, does anybody have a question?
Hey, what was it that basically made you able to have millions of followers? Like, was it a move that did it for you? Like maybe moving to Cali, Atlanta? I'm not really sure. I know you moved. I think you moved from Houston. So, but yeah, what was it? Was it the move, or was it just meeting new people that really helped your following grow?
So what was it that helped my following grow? I will say this, and I'm so big on this. Because when you go through a season where you lose your confidence and you lose your boldness, you can empathize with people who don't have it. Because before that season, which was the beginning of this year and last year, I have never experienced not walking into a room and being my full authentic self, being real and being myself and being confident and being bold in who I am, no matter the environment, right? And stay with me here. I'm gonna answer your question, but being bold and being confident and being true to who you are is what's going to have the right people attract directly to you. So being yourself, being myself is what got me to this point. And sometimes it's hard to be yourself when you're not confident, when you're not bold, and you let your environment and people around you pour into you and dim your light. You can't even be yourself in the environment you're in. How are you going to be yourself on the internet? You lose yourself hiding behind a facade to make everybody else happy. Be yourself. If you are in a group of friends or a group of people or with your significant other or your partner or your mom or your dad or your family, and you walk into a room and you feel like a light switch has to go on, so you don't make them uncomfortable, and you have to literally flip the switch and turn into a different person, and you cannot be yourself. You can't be bright. You can't be vibrant. You can't have an opinion. You can't tell the truth. You can't, because everybody's offended or people shrivel up at your brightness and how bright your light is, and it makes them uncomfortable. So you dim your light to make them uncomfortable, so you're not walking on extra. All these things. I understand what that feels like now. And it's very hard to come out of that once your light is dimmed. But baby, when that light gets bright, I bet you'll never let another soul take it. I bet you'll never let another soul take it away. So the root, I feel like, is me being myself. And I wasn't focused on followers. I was focused on being true to who I was, having fun, enjoying what I was doing. And the followers and the millions of fans and supporters and subscribers and all of these people that have built my platform by supporting me and following me was just the cherry on top. I didn't move to Atlanta from Dallas, Texas like, I have to go out there and have 10 million followers. I moved out there and said, I want to be happy and I want to follow my dream of being in the entertainment industry. And I just went to Atlanta, or I came to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta right now. I came to Atlanta being myself. So stop chasing the followers, stop chasing the numbers. And that is something that, once again, I struggled with once I got it. You see the 1 million, you're like, oh, now I need 2. You see the 2 million, oh, now I need 3. I'm at 5.8 million. I'm over here like, when I'm gonna get to 6? You got 5.8 million followers following you, and you worried about when you gonna get to 6? Yes. There's a balance between constantly elevating and wanting more and wanting to grow, but the why. Why do you want it? Why do you want 1 million followers? Is it to have your vision come to life and you want to change the world, and you want to impact all the humans that are following you, and you want to use your platform as a vessel to lead people to Christ and help? Why do you want it? I'm constantly dealing with that. And I talked about this in a previous episode, the idolatry of my platform, idolizing my platform to the point where followers, numbers, validation is so important to me. That's when it is stripped away, it affects me in a negative way. If all of this was stripped away tomorrow, I should be okay. And we're humans. We're going to fight the flesh and deal with that, right? But I should be okay because I know who God has called me to be, and I know who I am, and I know whose I am. The internet don't own me. My fans and the people you're listening to this, you behind this camera, y'all don't run me. Y'all don't move me. I am not a puppet to my followers. I am not a puppet to my platform. God moves me. I am God's child. I'm not a puppet on the internet, right? So I'm saying all of this to say, be yourself. Don't chase the numbers and the fame and the platform. Have a vision of who God called you to be and constantly show up as that in every environment, in every circumstance, in every room, in every situation, including the internet. And the right people that you're called to will naturally follow you. If it's 30,000, if it's 30 million, show up as your true, authentic self. And if you don't know who that is, or if that light has been dimmed to the point where it's hard for you to do that, that is what you need to focus on. Focus on getting your light back, getting your confidence back, getting your boldness back. It's yours anyway. It's our birthright. We come into this world being bold and confident. You ever seen kids? They just say whatever on their mind. You fat. What's that on your face? You don't know. They just bold. They confident. They free. We come into this world being that. So at some point that was stripped away from you through circumstances, people, environments, things, get it back. And once you get it back, remove people, places, and things that don't allow you to keep that light bright. Keep it bright. Be yourself. And walk into every circumstance, situation, room, and environment being yourself. You will attract the right people. Don't focus on the numbers and don't focus on the followers. That was a good question. All right, let's do another question.
Okay, I have a quick question. What do you do? How did you stop yourself from going back to your old ways? Like, you saw what you used to do, or like you thought it was fun, but same time it's really not healthy for you, or like it's really not good for you. Yeah, how do you stop yourself going back to your old ways?
How do I stop myself from going back from my old ways? That's a good question. Certain things you have to be delivered from. Certain things take time, right? Certain things going to take some deliverance, and some things God can convict you of quick and it'll stop overnight. Certain things for me, that I battle with, I talked about this earlier, gluttony, right? So I still battle with my diet, being consistent with exercise, making gym, food, and that whole fitness world and health and nutrition world, my lifestyle, and not a diet or a trend or a up and down habit that I do it for 3 months and then I stop for a year. And then I do it for 6 months and then I stop for 2. It should be a lifestyle. It should be self-control, back to the fruits of the spirit, self-control and discipline. So that's something that I struggle with now. I'm still working on that, right? But then other things like me being sober for almost 2 years. It's coming up on 2 years. In about 3 months, it'll be 2 years of sobriety. No weed, no alcohol. Those things, that's not pulling at me. God delivered me from that April 25th, 2023. That day, there was a deliverance from that. It wasn't a struggle. It wasn't a temptation. It's not like I'm around liquor and weed. People could smoke in front of me all day. I'm not asking to hit the blunt. Some things take time. Some things you got to be delivered from. Other things God will convict you of quick and he'll take it away. And I know exactly why God took away my desire for alcohol and weed and that lifestyle in that season of my life, because it wasn't, I needed clarity in that season. So things like weed, alcohol, I was going to say sex. I've always been celibate for almost 2 years, but I also haven't been dating either. I haven't been in an environment. Well, hold on. I did do that celibacy episode where I almost broke my celibacy with my ex, but I stopped myself. So that was an episode that I talked about. And then there was another circumstance. Y'all know I can't lie to y'all. I be trying to teeter-totter over stuff that happens. There was another one, but I didn't do it, is what I'm saying. So I have been in those spaces and places, and I have fought the devil. Okay, next question. Did I answer that question? I'm like, I have not been tempted. Yes, you have. You've been rubbing and touching. And then you be like, I can't have sex. I can't do that. Why are you in his house? Why is you? Oh, Lord. Hold on, Caleb. I got to get this out. Why is you in that man's bed playing footsie? Talking about don't touch me. Well, what else we going to do? You should have took your ass home. The question was, how do I not go back? Sometimes I do. Oh, wait. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Okay, I fight temptation. Okay, it's working with celibacy. Okay. Sex, I am tempted with sex when I'm in environments or around people that I'm obviously lusting over, but I haven't been in those situations lately. It's not like I'm dating or I'm going out on dates with guys, right? There's 2 guys in mind that I have that have popped up over the past year and a half of my celibacy, but those were 2 moments. It's not a lifestyle, right? So sex is like in the middle. Alcohol and weed, I don't struggle with that. That doesn't tempt me. I can be around it all day and not feel like I need to have a drink or hit the blunt. Gluttony, I'm fucked. Okay? That is where I am working the most. Baby, let me tell y'all something. I am a phone call away from getting back on metformin. That Ozempic is another name, metformin. They got glutatamide, glutathyroid, whatever it's called. I'm getting on it. If it could take my appetite away, I am about to put it in my stomach. Okay? So certain things I struggle with, certain things I don't. But it's constant fighting the flesh, being aware of what you struggle with, and constantly constantly trying to get better. Even though the fitness lifestyle, I've been up and down in that lifestyle for years, you guys, for years. I still haven't gave up on it. I'm always restarting with a trainer. I'm always restarting a fast. I'm always getting back on my lifestyle. I never just go all the way off into the deep end to where I can't come back. Anything that you are battling with is, come on, let's try this again. Every single moment of every single day is a new opportunity to try again and be better. We're not trying to reach perfection. We're just trying to be better. And I truly believe in every aspect of my life that I have just mentioned up here, from the weed, from the alcohol, from sex, to gluttony, to diet, I've gotten better. I haven't been perfect, but I've gotten better. So that's all I can ask for. Woo! Next question.
So my question is, my name is Utah, and I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Do you have any regrets that you would want to have any do-overs in your life? And if you did, what would they be?
Wow. Any regrets? I'm trying to think. Like, people are like, no, I have no regrets. Like, is there a real regret? You know what? I feel like when you're in the trial, in the tribulation, in the storm, in the darkness, you can always be in such a dark place of depression or anxiety or loneliness or whatever you're battling in that dark place, to where in that moment it can feel like regret. Why did I do this? Why did this happen? I can't believe this. But every single time I come out of a trial, every single time I come out of a problem, every single time I come out of a depressive state, or every single time I come out of something that I felt like broke me in that season, and I come out of it victorious, and I heal from it, and I forgive, and I grow, and I let it go, I no longer regret it. Because it made me better. It showed me. It took the veil off. It opened me up to new levels and new vibrating higher and more opportunity spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. Every single problem or obstacle that I have made it through in my life, once I get out of it, once you get out of that dark space, it's no longer a regret. It's a lesson that has made you a better person. So I will say, no. I have no regrets. It can feel like a regret when you're in it. It can feel dark when you're in it. It can feel horrible when you're in it. But when you're out of it, anybody, let me tell you something. Anybody that is going through a dark time right now, that you're in the season of not even solitude, loneliness. Solitude is almost like a choice. Like I'm in solitude by choice. Loneliness, sometimes it's not a choice. Loneliness, depression, you lost somebody physically. They're gone. Maybe they passed away. Maybe you lost somebody by just removing yourself from an environment. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you going through miscarriage. You're going through divorce. You're going through self-doubt. You're going through, I don't know my purpose. I don't know my gifts. You're going through, I don't hear God's voice. God has forgotten about me. You're going through, I can't see the light at the end of a tunnel. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You're going through, I'm stagnant right now in my life. I don't know what I'm in a relationship where I feel like it's toxic and I want to leave, but I'm comfortable. I can't leave. Whatever you're going through right now, this too shall pass. It is a moment. History repeats itself. Everything you have gotten through in your past, there was a point in time where you felt like, I am not going to get through this. When is this going to be over? When is God going to see me? When is God going to hear me? And guess what? He showed up. So why wouldn't he show up in this? Why wouldn't he show up now? Why wouldn't he? He keeps his promises, whether it takes him 5 days or 5 years. His timing is way better than ours. And you have to know that. You have to believe it. And you have to have a relationship with him so he can comfort you and he can let you know the proper steps to take as you're in these spaces of confusion, darkness, depression, anxiety. Where do I go from here? You cannot do it on your own. You cannot do it with your homeboy. You cannot do it with your homegirl. You cannot do it with your partner. You cannot do it with the pastor. Yeah. Now, granted, don't take my words out of context. God will use those people to be vessels to help you through it, but you got to go to him. Every time, let me tell you something, I was bawling. Was it I was about to say last week, but I think it was last month, about something that happened. A trigger popped up. I was crying. I was bawling. I wanted to text my homegirl. I wanted to talk to my friend that I had been talking to about it. God said, come to me. You going to everybody else first. I wanted to call my mom and tell her to start praying because my mom is an intercessor. She prays all day, every day. Because of my mom's prayers I'm not even going to say probably, is the reason I'm sitting here on this platform today. She prays for me 24/7. She's fighting spiritual battles that I have no idea she's protecting me from. I wanted to call everybody and get help when really I needed to sit in solitude in that prayer room and talk to God. We want instant gratification. So we go to, if I call my mom, I'm going to hear her voice instantly. I'm going to instantly feel better. If I call my friend, I'm going to hear her voice instantly. Sometime when you sit with God, it ain't instant. You got to sit there. You have to sit and you think and you're trying to differentiate. Is this God's voice? Is this my voice? Is this the enemy's voice? Where's the Holy Spirit going to show up? He always shows up in the right time. So do I have regret? To answer your question, no, baby, I do not. I regret nothing. Every heartbreak, every dark time, every betrayal, every mistake I made, every time I gave my body to a man that didn't deserve it, every time I lacked self-love and self-worth, every time I was belligerent and drunk in the club, and my whole life has been preparing me for this very platform and this very moment. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. And I thank God for his grace and mercy watching over me through every aspect in my life when I couldn't even watch over myself and I didn't even know the situations I was putting myself in certain times in my life. So I regret nothing. Not the pain, not the betrayal, not the stupid mistakes, not the childishness. I regret nothing. Nothing. I regret nothing. And you should regret nothing too. Regret nothing. Live in the moment. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus too much on the future. Well, focus on the future as far as planning ahead and, goals and stuff, but not having anxiety over the future. Don't have anxiety about it. Be where your feet are. And right now, I'm in this very moment looking at this camera and nothing else matters right now but my podcast. Be where your feet are and regret nothing. All right, let's get to the next question.
My name's Brittany. I live in Virginia, and I was wondering, here's the question. If you had to choose between two guys, one was like your best friend that knew you in and out, you're all secure, everything else, and another one was someone that's new, that's very financially stable. The best friend, he not really trying to do much. He ain't really got any ambitions or anything, but he had a decent job. So which one would you choose as a boyfriend? And let me know.
Girl, number one, the way you said it, best friend, he ain't really got no ambitions or anything. I mean, he got a decent job, but you don't want to be with him? Girl, you sound like you want somebody who's ambitious, who is hungry for more in life, their eyes light up at the idea of more, and not just financially, but just more in general. Like the way you even articulated that tells me it ain't the best friend. He was like, I mean, he got a decent job, but he ain't ambitious. He don't want more in life. Like the way you said it doesn't sound like that aligns with what you want. And I could be wrong, but for me, who would I choose? I want a man with ambition, so I wouldn't choose the best friend, but I also wouldn't choose the other guy just because he's financially stable. Overall, for me, I think in this season, I'm looking for somebody that does want more in every aspect of their life, but knows who they are called to be. They know their purpose. They know their calling. They know their gifts, and they don't just believe in God. I believe in Beyonce. That don't mean I know her. I believe Beyonce exists. Do I know that lady? Absolutely not. Beyonce don't know me. I don't know her. I believe she exists, but I don't have a relationship with her. It's the same thing with Jesus Christ. I want a man that doesn't just believe in God. He knows God and he has a relationship with God. So that's what I'm looking for in this season. I wouldn't choose either one of them. I wouldn't choose the other guy just because he's financially stable, and I wouldn't choose the other guy because for me, he lacks ambition. I want somebody who is constantly growing spiritually with their relationship with God. emotionally, physically, financially. We can always, be financially stable. I don't think there's a cap on finances. I'm not saying I need to have $1 billion. No, but I call myself Billionaire B. Why? Because do you know what type of person it takes to make the billion? The journey to get to the billion. It's not really about having $1 billion. I don't need $1 billion. It's not about that. But the person I have to become to get there. The discipline I have to get there. The focus I have to get there. The relationship with God I have to get there. The vision I have to get there. The way I use my gifts. The leadership I have to get there. The character I have to get there. It's not really about making $1 billion. It's not really about making $1 billion. It's about the person I have to become to be a billionaire. It's about the journey and the excitement and the accomplishments on the way to getting it. So, yeah, I'm one of those people that always wants more. I'm never complacent and stagnant and just like, okay, enough's enough. I did it all. Like I can just sit down and no. So you have to figure out what you want in life. And to me, even the way you articulated that, neither one of them have it. I don't think those are your only two choices. There are 8 billion people in the world. Go find somebody that aligns with what you want.
Happy holidays, beautiful. Merry Christmas. Hopefully I could be the lucky guy to basically also get to know you and take you out on that lovely date.
Was that a question? Oh my goodness. Got my lips sweating. I was not expecting that one, Caleb. That was right after the date. What's going on? Did he say his name and where he from? Okay, you don't follow directions. That's already a red flag. And then what? No. And then here y'all go. That could be your husband. It ain't. It's not. It is absolutely not. There was nothing, and I truly believe God would have given me a signal. And all the signals point the other way. God bless you, brother. Your person is out there. It ain't me.
Hey, my name is Nave. I'm from Arizona. I just wanted to ask, how do you get more comfortable in standing up for yourself? It's something I've always struggled with, and I'm trying to get better at that.
How do you get comfortable standing up for yourself? I think I got pushed over to the edge. Like I got hurt so bad by not doing it in business and partnership and friendships and even family relationships. I was just like, you are hurting yourself at the expense of trying to people please others. And sticking up for yourself does not have to be mean. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be evil. You don't have to be rude. You can be honest and kind. You can be honest and generous. You can be honest and peaceful. You can be honest and joyful and have the fruit of the spirit and be a good person and be like, no, that doesn't work for me. You can set boundaries and be kind. And the more you do it, it's a practice. It's like anything else. I'm telling you, baby, the more you practice it, the easier it gets because it's in your mind. What you think people are going to get mad at anyway, they usually don't. Most of the time, people are like, okay, cool, you can't come. And guess what? If they do get offended, if they do get upset, that's not your person. That's not your tribe. It's showing you who they are. So it's a blessing. Rejoice. Rejoice. I set a boundary. I'm sticking up for myself and you're upset. You're uncomfortable. You're turning it on me. You're making this bigger than what it is. Rejoice that God is showing you who those people are in your life and you can remove them. It's not a bad thing. Sticking up for yourself does not have to be mean. You have to advocate for yourself because who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it? If you're not an advocate for yourself, you can't expect other people to do it, So you can set boundaries, say no, stick up for yourself, and still be kind. And I think we've associated boundaries and saying no and not being agreeable with being mean. And it's not true. You're not a mean person. You're not a bad person because you say no. You're not, no. You know, in this season, you can be kind and set boundaries.
Hey, Miss Simone, girl. It's Elena. My name is Elena. I'm from Maria, Alabama, B251. My question is, how can you handle social anxiety if you have to be around people all day? Because I always wanted to know that. Because I have social anxiety. So I always wanted to know, how can you handle social anxiety if you have to be around people every single day?
Wow. I have had social anxiety before, and it goes back to, it came from dimming my light and not being confident in who I am. I think getting to the root of why you have it, for me, it was confidence and not being bold and being scared to use my voice because the relationship I was in caused me to dim my light. So I did it in a lot of aspects of my life. Figure out the why. Are you lacking confidence? Are you lacking worthiness? Are you lacking boldness? Are you lacking trusting yourself? Sometimes you have social anxiety. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself with articulation. You don't trust yourself with being social. I think it's rooted in confidence. And if that's the case, that's what you know you need to take to God and what you need to work on. That should be your prayer going into the new year, to remove that social anxiety. When you're bold and you're confident, you can walk into any room in any environment and be yourself. So figure out the why. And for me, it was confidence. All right, you guys, this is the last question.
Hey, Miss Simone. This is Trey, and this is Bree, and we're from Texas. Okay, so we have a question. So recently you were on a podcast with Crystal Renee, and you mentioned that you are the bridge. So how do you keep your faith so strong and not get pulled into the world because you are that bridge?
Wow, that was a good question. I love how y'all did that. Hey, B.simone, come on, little double trouble. Okay, how am I the bridge? I said this in the episode with Crystal Renee. I believe I'm the bridge from culture to kingdom, like bridging that gap. And God put me in this industry to be that light in an industry that is so dark. I don't feel like God put me in the entertainment industry to exalt me and give me this platform and just remove me and pluck me out. No, he wants me exactly where I'm at to plant the seed in the industry I'm in and use me as a vessel in this industry. I'm still around a lot of worldly things. I'm still around a lot of things that I used to do that I no longer do. Like, I'm not that girl. I talked about this in my videographer in the back, like how I changed so much and certain things just fell off. Like let's go to my mouth, cussing. Like we were talking about old baby girl TV episodes and just certain ways I carried myself, certain ways I spoke, the way I just showed up in a room. That's truly who I was in that season. And I believe God allowed me and graced me through that season and that part of my life, that chapter of my life, so I can understand it and so I can see it. So when I'm around it now, although I've healed and I've evolved and I've grown spiritually, there's no judgment from me when I see it in other people because I was once that girl. I was once that person. I was once there. I think I know how to love in those type of environments. I know how to exist in those type of environments without feeling peer pressured or feeling like I have to transform and do things in those type of environments, if that makes sense. And if I have to remove myself out of a room or remove myself from a Diddy party, I will, you know? It's like, leave the room. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, you know, I've always shown up as who I am. And if it's no longer me, I don't feel like I have to be peer pressured into doing something. So I feel like God is a part of my purpose, being planted in this environment, in this industry, and showing up differently. I've always been different. Back in the day when I was b.simone in 2016, b.simone in 2024, I've always been different. And I've shown up and been a light in every room. I know it's a part of my gift. So I haven't had to battle with that as much. But I will say there was a moment where I was begging God for this opportunity, and I got to do it, and I got in the environment, and I felt convicted in the environment. Like I was pretty convicted, like, damn, this does not feel right to me. Like, I don't want to be on this platform. I don't want to do this anymore, kind of thing. And I had to sit with myself about that. I talked to one of my spiritual leaders about it. I talked to a friend about it. And it came back to what I just stated. It doesn't feel right because there are things around you that are going on that are not who you are anymore. It might be more worldly than godly, but you don't have to be involved in those things. You can step back when those things happen and you can still love that person. You don't have to be involved in the things that are convicting you just because you're in the room. And I think Jesus was a prime example of that. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. You guys, this was such a good episode. It was so fun. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys for leaving your questions and your comments, because some of them weren't questions, but I love y'all so much. We're going to wrap this episode up, and I will see you guys next week. I'm so excited. Next week is going to be, let me make sure. Okay, boom. What's that? Yes, I'm excited. Next week is going to be our Christmas episode with my sister and Pretty V. We're going to have a Christmas party. Next week is Christmas, and I'm so excited for this episode. So yeah, tap in. Audio drops on every audio platform every Monday, and every Tuesday, the YouTube video drops on YouTube. You guys tap in, share with a friend, and just share, comment, leave a review. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting me. And I will see you guys next week on the Let's Try This Again podcast. Bye. Mwah.